Hello everyone, and welcome to the Deep Blue Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deep Blue Renegade, and I'd like to welcome you to episode 400. I can't even move this. Some number. I think I got it right. Today is Saturday, May 11th, 2024, and I'm glad you could join me today. Of course it is that I sit down to record. It's like 464. It's a good number. And so this one might be pretty short. And that is entirely because I might have missed the nap window. So we ended up going on an adventure to the beach that all the dogs like to go to. So I figured it was going to be a good time because my child does love, he probably loves cats more than dogs, but there are a lot of dogs. um, and I was probably the only person there with like a small child, but it seemed like it worked out okay. We did the full loop and now I'm pretty tired. But I have or what is it? I'm like watching the fog recede, so it's like almost 3:30 now. Maybe it's coming back again, who knows. Um but at least for right now it's sunny. So can't complain about that. So I have some very nicely steeped tea. I am clean. We have some chitter chatter coming from the bedroom, so should be good. We'll see if I can extract my project without causing too much chaos. So I finished a sleeve last week, like last Monday. So this is Piper, which is a Carol Sunday pattern, and would it be like I think this is going to be a very very lovely sleeve. It's like boop, get everything semi in position here. The only funny thing was like it feels like I overshot a little bit in terms of length and then had to rip back this like final cable because I needed to start decreasing, and I think this will be a good size when it's done. So with that, I have started the second sleeve. So I am one cable panel into this one, which translates to not a whole lot done. It looks like it's probably almost, well no, I think I still have a bit more to go before I start the next cable panel, but whatever, that's the thing with cable sweaters, right, is I just have to count it out. So plenty of sleeve to go, because it's also increasing as I go as well, but could it be, but I think it has it has a nice texture. The cables are coming through really clearly, even though this is a fairly dark blue yarn. The yarn is Harrisville Designs Flywheel in the Aquifer colorway, and it is very gorgeous. It has reds and greens and purples in it, in addition to sort of the blue that you see from afar, matching the other blue things you see on the screen. um, so I'm in a little bit of a lull now because I don't have any cables, but that probably makes it a little bit easier. Um, and then increases aren't too crazy. So I'll just have to do like a quick double check at some point to see how things are coming. But So far, so good. Looking nice. Would it be? And it's always interesting, just like what subtle choices can end up doing. What sort of textures you can create with that. We'll see if I'm filled with regret that this is like a chamomile mint tea. Oh well. So, sweater's coming along. Would it be? Um, Not as much knitting this week because there hasn't been as much bus riding. I've needed to drive down to the office a little bit more frequently. Um, and we'll see if that ends up changing for next week or not, or um yeah, I don't know. Work's been pretty intense. Whenever it'd be the case where I have like one hump next week, and then it'll be another 3 weeks before I think the night we get through the next hump, but it's okay. Nice to have some warm tea though. So the other thing that's going on, and I showed you all this last week, though I do realize I need to take one more important measurement on this before I rip it out all the way. So I showed you the full swatch last week, um, but I might actually have to go back and think again because so I was at knit night on Monday, as you do. And I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to cast on my sweater. And so then I start measuring gauge. So this is a great gauge for this yarn. But the pattern that I'm knitting calls for worsted weight yarn. This is sport. So I knit this watch on size 7 needles. It has looks pretty good, all things considered. Some of those darker colors might be peeking through, but I'm assuming this yarn's, or there's going to be a bit of bloom on this. But um, if I wanted to knit, so what's interesting actually is that the 1 to 2 size and the 2 to 4 size actually have the same chest circumference. Apparently your children do not get broader, they just get longer. For a while there. And so interestingly enough, if I want a 24-inch chest circumference with a gauge that's more 6 stitches to the inch instead of whatever, 18 would probably make me 4.5. Yeah. So I'm supposed to get 4.5. I'm really getting 6. So that means I need to knit the 32-inch size in order to get a 24-inch circumference, which now means I'm in a whole different chart class and I should draw that out. So this is what I figured out today. Because I realized that it wasn't going to go and I needed to do some math and I was done because it had been a Monday. So I now know what size I intend to cast on. I'm still keeping the same gauge. But it does, and I just have to do like a quick check on my row gauge and see if that's reasonable. But sort of the way that the sweater is set up anyways, you guys are pretty forgiving about that. So as long as my row gauge is equivalently off, it shouldn't be a big deal. And actually the way that this sweater is set up is that you get through the yoke pretty fast, and then there's actually color work in the body and the sleeves. So I think it'll be fine. Should be really cute. And that means that I'm actually switching to the 5 color chart instead of the 4 color chart. So I don't even know if this is going to be my color palette. I might end up going for more of the gradient style again. Maybe I don't need, I don't know, the puffer red does look pretty good though. So I need to pull out the colored pencils and the engineering paper again and plot out what that different chart's going to be, because there's, effectively speaking, it has you putting together 2 charts for the yolk and a third chart for the body, but the pattern comes with half the alphabet. Like there's 13 or 14 different charts. So anyway, so all I have to do is figure out my row gauge, figure out if it's equivalently off. It's probably not a big deal if it is. Um, Maybe my stitches are really long. Who knows? Um, and then all I have to do is knit to the lengths of the 2 to 4 size with the circumferences of the extra small women's. It's fine. So that is Marshallin by Tin Can Knits, and I am knitting it out of um, De Rerum Natura Ulysses. And, so nice. It would be. I'm not complaining about the flywheel because it's really gorgeous, but this feels so nice. It's not as pretty as the flywheel, but because it's much more monochromatic yarn. It's probably dyed in the yarn instead of dyed in the wool if I was to take a guess. But it feels so good. So it should be positive. I've not cast on any dragons. I've done a small amount of spinning. It's like we've gotten a couple of pieces into the third bobbin of the 5 bobbin sweater spin. So this one's gonna be the shortest color pops. Can we even get the? Oh yeah. This is a very extreme angle, but yeah, I didn't get a lot of spinning done this week because my in-laws are visiting, and so there isn't like a good place. There's a good place to keep the spinning wheel because my child would really like to help and make it go round and round, but that can be bad for the yarn because he's just a agent of chaos. So it is cute when he helps, but it's only like a little bit marginal. So I'm probably gonna have to pull out my colored pencils, finish thinking about it, and then I can cast on. But at the very least, like I have a rough idea about what I'm trying, so it should be fine. Um, let's see. Um, shouldn't be too crazy for the remainder of the month. It's looking like my big Asia travel is actually going to be closer to late August than early June, um, which is fine. Um, like, still haven't heard anything back about SSK waitlist. Um, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Um, I I would like to go, but um, I'm starting to get closer to the wire here. Totally ready to go. So I don't know if it's a scenario where I will yeah, I don't know if it's a scenario where I will just plan to go anyways. um yeah, there's probably some negotiation that needs to occur because the other thing is what is it? We will be traveling for my spouse's grandmother's celebration of life. Um, and now we're in the scenario where because DPN is older or greater than 2 or more years, not less than 2, he's more than 2. Um, we do have to pay for the seat. So whatever. Um, but flying to Nashville is definitely less painful than um flying to Buffalo. That was like an exercise in pain management. It's like, do you leave at 6 a.m. and arrive by dinner time? Do you arrive or do you leave by like 10 or noon and get there at midnight? Or do you red eye? I was like, so we'll see. Also the scenario where I'm not sure whether or not we have exercised my full. Oh wait, we can't. We didn't end up getting United. That's apparently not a United City. So, not too crazy. Yeah, not sure what the plans are going to be for tomorrow. Um, hopefully there'll be a good nap because today doesn't seem to have been a good nap. Yeah, and then maybe I need to try try a little bit harder to be ready for the rest of the week. I wasn't trying super duper hard today. What was it? We went out for breakfast and we went to the beach. So, should be good. Yeah. So I don't anticipate anything changing for um because I don't think I anticipate anything changing for the recording schedule. Um, it may end up being a Sunday instead of a Saturday. We'll see how it goes. um, yeah, and then I just have to keep on keeping on for a while. So, should be good. Um, yeah, can't can't wait for the summertime, but definitely enjoying the springtime while it lasts. And then also I was a little bit bummed. So apparently this weekend there was like a massive solar flare, and it's meant that the aurora borealis has actually come like all the way down to like Florida. But because I live in San Francisco, um, it was clear when the sun set, but it was a little bit too dark. And then when I went after it was like too dark, the fog had moved in. And it was so foggy I couldn't even see the massive radio tower 3 blocks away. It was mega foggy. So I was like, I could see the aurora borealis while doing nothing from my house. But would it be? And it was the case where I knew it was coming because I was seeing like all the East Coast and it was just lit. Because when you have your friends taking pictures of astronomical phenomena, like the solar eclipse, for example, and they're awful, like these aurora pictures were on point. by amateurs, and the ones that were by professionals were really good, but yeah. I wanted to experience it, but it's okay. So, whatever. It's fine. We'll get it figured out. Um, we'll see if it's clearer tonight, but I bet it's gonna be foggy again. Yeah. We're having like a bit of a mini heat wave right now, so I've turned off the heater. Oh well. So, not too crazy. We'll see how it goes. But I may just have another foggy picture to post tonight. So, with that, I hope you guys have a lovely week, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon. So, take care, guys. Bye bye.